Hello everyone and welcome back to the King of the Ring podcast, and I'm afraid I've got some bad news. We're talking about the Battleground 2014 pay-per-view, and joining me today is none other than Leigh, the co-host of Wolfie Pack Gaming, the channel. Go and check it out. Today we're going to be talking about our review / opinions on the Battleground pay-per-view. So how you doing, Leigh? You alright?
I'm alright. It would be better if I didn't have to stay up till 4 o'clock in the morning to watch that pay-per-view, like.
Yep.
But, you know.
So today, guys, this might turn into a shoot. It might turn into a shoot on this pay-per-view. So, what we're gonna do firstly is we'll talk about the pre-show. I didn't watch the pre-show, just because I looked at it.
I did.
It looked like I was walking into the job centre. You know, Adam Rose versus Fandango and Cameron versus Naomi. Not something I really want to watch. Adam Rose defeated Fandango and Cameron defeated Naomi. Does anyone really care? I don't think so. So
I was surprised with the Adam Rose match. I was surprised. I was expecting it to be Dolph Ziggler. What, they're actually having a rivalry? They just randomly put Adam Rose in the pay-per-view match.
Do you know why I think they did that? Is to match Fandango's gimmick. Because Fandango's got a dancey sort of gimmick, and so's Adam Rose, if you think about it. And I think that the Cameron Naomi one, like, to me, that just wasn't very interesting at all. I like Total Divas, but I just don't want to. I just don't want to see them in a match. So, did you see them matches, or did you not watch them?
I watched both of them, and neither of them were worth watching.
Yeah,
Pretty much, they were both god awful.
Yeah.
Especially the Cameron Naomi one. It was just botchamania everywhere.
Yeah, this pay-per-view had quite a few botches in when I was watching it. So Botch at the Beach and all the other channels are going to have a field day with this one. So the first match of the evening was for the tag titles. The Usos defeated the Wyatt family. Now, in my opinion, this feud has been going on way too long, and I don't know if it's still going to keep going on, but I just want the Wyatt family to win the belts. You know?
So do I. 100%. But it was for two pay-per-views in a row now. They had one of the best matches on the card. It's not a good rivalry or anything like that. There's no good like psychology going in the rivalry, but they're having some hella good matches. Like,
yeah, I really loved the Money in the Bank one where he got suplexed through the table outside. Was that Extreme Rules? I'm
not sure. Just pay-per-views are just all the same now.
That's how much I'd give a shit. I cannot really remember where it was, but that was awesome, that match. I don't know about you, but like I know you like the Usos from Total Divas, but the Usos are like the Samoan John Cena's almost. Super baby faces, and they don't seem to lose as much now. And
I mean, they are really being pushed quite hard into everyone's faces, but I'd actually quite like them as a tag team. I don't think they should be holding the tag titles for much longer, but
yeah,
I definitely like them as a tag team. Like,
yeah, I mean, for me, when you look at the tag team division, there isn't really anyone who should be champion. There's no one for me who really sort of raises the bar in the tag team division. I like the Wyatt family. I've went off Bray Wyatt a little bit, which we can talk about later because he had a match. But the Wyatt family seem to keep somewhat of my interest, especially Luke Harper. I love Luke Harper. He's so good.
I think Luke Harper's very talented in the ring. He's probably
he's amazing. He's for a big fella. He can do high flying moves like the suicide dive out the ring. He can do Yakuza kicks.
Yeah.
You know,
I think it's amazing when he did a Hurricane on that, didn't he? It was incredible.
Yeah, I just love Luke Harper. I just want him just to have more matches where he can wrestle. You know, have a 30-minute Iron Man match and have like him and like someone like Ziggler or like someone like that go at it. I would pay to watch that. Yeah,
that would be incredible.
Yeah. So the Usos retained. with a double body splash, and it was funny because when you look at the body splash, it might have been Jay, I think. He had to splash Rowan's legs because Jimmy, the other one, like he hit him right in the gut, and he like hit him in his knees, and I'm like, that's gonna hurt him more than it's gonna hurt bloody Rowan, you know.
Mm.
And plus, I thought one of them was gonna fall off when they were both on the top rope.
Where they trying to balance themselves.
Yeah, they're like trying to balance. It would have been hilarious if they both fell off, and that would have been amazing. Just Super Dragon chance and like Botchamania chance.
Much better spot.
Yeah. But is there anything you want to talk about more about this match, or do you think we should move on to the next?
The only thing I wanted to bring attention to was the only thing I wanted to bring attention to was the double suplex by Eric Rowan, I think it was. I thought that was pretty cool, especially when you don't actually see him doing that many moves anyway. But then he does that. It was I was impressed.
Rowan's a bit like of a sort of generic core that you would see on like the wrestling games, but I think still one of his best moments was when John Cena was versing Bray Wyatt in the cage, and he climbed up the cage and pushed John Cena back in. I still think that was such an amazing spot. And I just think he was amazing because he did that. But so we'll move on to AJ Lee versus Paige. Now this is something that I'm not going to. Well, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I didn't actually watch this match. I skipped over it because this doesn't mean anything to me. I'm assuming you watched this match.
Yeah, I struggled through the entire pay-per-view.
But this pay-per-view for me was just like, I wanted to watch the Battle Royal, and that was really it. Like there wasn't. I didn't want to watch the main event because it's not interesting. You've got the 4 biggest guys going at it. We've seen that for years now. Make it different, you know.
It's not even an interesting thing. It's 2 guys who can't wrestle very well versus 2 guys who are void of momentum or interest from the fans. So it doesn't really work as a match.
Yeah, and the whole AJ Lee thing, she comes back after being out for ages, right? Wins the title. Like, I don't think anyone really cares. I think people were just starting to sort of see why Paige was the champion. And then AJ Lee comes back and just gets it handed to her. And
I'm not gonna lie though, I do love AJ Lee, especially I think AJ Lee and Paige are probably 2 of the better divas on there.
Oh yeah.
In the division,
definitely.
so it was only natural that they have to face each other. Like.
Sorry to interrupt you, but the other divas couldn't wrestle a paper bag. They're absolutely terrible.
The only one I would rate would be Natalya because she can actually wrestle.
Yeah, well, the thing is, she can wrestle, but in her matches, she doesn't do very many moves. So
yeah, I don't know whether you watched the NXT pay-per-view a couple weeks ago or something like that. Natalya had a match for the NXT Women's title. Obviously, she was never going to win it, but it was an incredible match. Charlotte Flair, I think it was.
Yeah, Ric Flair's.
Yeah, it was a great match, that.
Yeah.
It was one of the better matches I've seen for Davis.
Like coming up from NXT, after I admit they've done a decent job with that.
Definitely.
But the next match we'll talk about here is what I like to call the Job Centre Special. Rusev versus Jack Swagger. So, yet again, Russia versus America. Does anyone care? Not really.
The problem is this is a feud very much aimed at American patriots, and I don't think a lot of their fan base
quite over. I think Jack Swagger's more over.
Yeah, a lot of their a lot of WWE's fan base isn't American though, so it's basically this match we're putting on for Americans, and the rest of you can get the hell. Basically, it's not a match anyone else is interested in. It's outside of America, like my point of view anyway. I really don't care about that feud at all.
Yeah.
I just think it's dull.
Yeah, it's not the best. It's not the best at all. But for me, Rusev went over. We forgot to say that AJ Lee beat Paige, by the way. And Rusev defeated Swagger by count out. Swagger had Rusev in the Patriot lock.
On the ankle, whatever these are.
Then Rusev rolled out and he went straight into the pole. Swagger was knocked out, Rusev slid in. A shitty way to end the match. It's probably setting up something for SummerSlam. but no one's going to watch that. The next match I really wanted to see, but it was cut off so early by some backstage segment that Seth Rollins defeated Dean Ambrose by forfeit. Now, I wanted to see this match because I love Dean Ambrose and I love Seth Rollins, but I think I prefer Dean Ambrose a bit more because of his character, what they're doing with him now.
Yeah.
And they were building this match up like, oh, Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, who's gonna win? You know, find out. And you didn't really.
I think I was looking on the I was looking on the internet earlier on, and it was they were saying that Seth Rollins isn't actually medically cleared, so which is why he hasn't been competing the last couple of weeks. So I think they've just tried to cover it up very early, you know, that they like get something out of it, so they've got like a bit of a schmoz instead of an actual match.
Yeah, I mean personally, I think they were just gonna do something for SummerSlam, but who knows? It's a shame, you know. Then the next match here was surprising. Because normally when Chris Jericho returns, it's just to put someone over, Fandango, that sort of thing. Same with like Rob Van Dam. So Chris Jericho, he defeated Bray Wyatt, which I don't think a lot of people saw coming. You could tell by the reaction, I think, in the crowd. Not a lot of people saw that coming. What was your opinion on that match?
I thought the ending was weak. Like, it was definitely a weak ending because like people were like, it's one of them things where you hit the finisher and just expect you to kick out, and like it'll be some sort of like playing the match somewhere like Chris Jericho can't win with his finisher and Bray Wyatt's that powerful or whatever. But it was strange. I think the match, I didn't even rate the match that highly. I didn't think it was a great match. I think about 8 years ago, like if Chris Jericho was 8 years younger, it would have been an incredible match because he would have had a bit more like stamina and a bit more about him.
Yeah, I think Chris Jericho, like, because he's doing a lot of his podcasts and stuff and his music stuff, he's getting a bit of ring rust, and you can tell with like a few sloppy moves and a botch or two, and it's really sad to see, but that's just how it is these days, you know. Hopefully, there's Chris Jericho versus Bray Wyatt at SummerSlam, and it's a better match, and Bray Wyatt comes out on top, because then that'll really help his character.
Yeah.
So next, we're gonna. I think this is probably one of the worst decisions I've ever seen in my life, and I think you know what I'm about to say. And it's the Intercontinental Battle Royal. Now, first of all, I'm gonna say fuck Jack Swagger for injuring Bad News Barrett, because if Bad News Barrett wasn't injured, we probably would have had a good Intercontinental title match in this place. And anyway, so you have Alberto Del Rio, Big E, Bo Dallas, Cesaro, Curtis Axel, Diego for some reason, Damian Jobber Sandow, Dolph Ziggler, Heath Slater, Kofi, R-Truth, Ryback, Sheamus, Sin Cara, Carly, Titus O'Neil, generic Xavier Woods black guy. You got Zack Ryder. There was quite a lot of jobbers. This was basically the Jobber Battle Royal. And who did you honestly think, realistically, was going to come away with the Intercontinental title?
When it got to the end, I honestly couldn't say it was Sheamus because I don't know why they insist on pushing him into. I like the guy. He's a good wrestler, but he's not like he's not got a good enough persona to actually like push up the card anymore. Unless the switch his gimmick around, make it a bit more fresh. But I honestly thought he was going to become the next person to unify them.
Yeah, I don't like Sheamus for the simple fact that he's got the same gimmick as John Cena, never gives up, and comes out against all odds and wins. And when Dolph Ziggler gets to the end of a battle royal again, I'm never going to believe that Dolph Ziggler's going to win again, because Dolph Ziggler worked his arse off, eliminated Sheamus, and I was going crazy. I was like, yes, Dolph Ziggler's the new Intercontinental Champion. And then The Miz chucked Dolph Ziggler over the top, and I was watching on my iPad. I just chucked it on my bed and I said, fuck this. And I just went downstairs and made myself a cup of tea. I was like, I'm so done. Like, I'm not watching this now, you know? And then when I came back up, I just caught the beginning of the main event. But this Battle Royal, it had a few few surprises. Damien Sandow didn't get eliminated first. Holy crap. He eliminated people, which was incredible. Heath Slater eliminated Cesaro, which got quite a pop.
I'm not gonna. Like, I really marked out for that. I thought that was a great spot, man.
Yeah. And
I thought they were actually going to push Heath Slater for a second. It was really, really funny.
Heath Slater for the next World Heavyweight Champion.
Yeah.
But it's so funny. They've got like, you know when the Great Khali is in a battle royal, he's one of the first people to go.
Yeah.
Everyone. It's funny. It was so botchy at the beginning because you could see him like waiting, like looking for everyone to like attack him instead of like moving out the way or standing to the side.
And it's the same spot they always do as well, where they all crowd around him, and then he somehow has the strength to like push off the Big Show. The Big Show did that
the Big Show did that back in like 2003, 2004.
They must do it every single like Royal Rumble with a big guy in.
Every time there's a giant, they always have to like push people off like loads at a time, and it annoys us because it looks crap,
Yeah.
But I'm.
We did have another. I think.
Huh? Go ahead.
I was gonna say a thing I quite liked in the Battle Royal was Kofi Kingston once again had multiple good spots.
Yeah, that's his gimmick now.
He is a bit of a spot monkey, but I just love him doing all them spots, like especially when he landed on Big A Langston's shoulders and that. Oh, that was great.
Yeah.
Like rolled up Cesaro and as well. That was meant me.
Yeah. he is incredibly athletic. But they're just his gimmick. It's like Rey Mysterio's. It's just like a kiddie gimmick, just to please the kids. And it's just annoying to watch, So yeah, the Miz is the new Intercontinental Champion, but I'm afraid I've got some bad news. Bad news: Barrett is gonna come back and bullhammer the shit out of him, and he's gonna get his title back. Who knows when? Maybe Survivor Series when he's back properly, but who knows? But there's some bad news coming his way, if you know what I'm saying. So we're going on to the main event now. So for me, when this match got first announced, I knew instantly that John Cena was going to win because there was speculation of Brock Lesnar versus John Cena at SummerSlam for the titles.
Yeah.
And I think on tonight's Raw, you're going to see a return of Brock Lesnar. He's going to come back with his client Paul Heyman, or his manager, and he's going to go for the title at SummerSlam because they won a blockbuster, like they had with CM Punk and Brock Lesnar at the SummerSlam before. So
Brock Lesnar, I don't like him. I really winds up. He comes back like.
I said on the last podcast
4 weeks before SummerSlam, it has one match and it's just off.
Yeah. He got the streak, and it's like, is that not good enough? Like, he has to have the title now, And I really hope that
I can't see them putting the title on.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I really hope Cena wins at SummerSlam. If that's the case.
I couldn't see Brock Lesnar winning. They're gonna build it up so remember Brock Lesnar broke the streak and stuff like that. They're gonna say Michael Cole's gonna be big enough saying this is the man that ended Undertaker's undefeated streak, and then John Cena's going to beat him just because he has to have every accolade ever. John Cena.
Oh yeah, John Cena. I'm surprised he hasn't won the Divas title. The first man to win the Divas belt, just the first man to win every belt on the roster, and then goes to TNA and wins all their belts. Ring of Honor, New Japan Pro Wrestling, go to all of them.
And then goes and shoots a crap film.
Yeah, it's like but we're not here to hate on John Cena. We hate to hate on WWE and their crappy booking. Why put Kane in the main event? Why not put Kane there? Well, why not put someone like I don't know, Cesaro.
We haven't even got main eventers anymore.
Put Cesaro in because he was getting a push and then it stopped.
Bring Adrian Neville up from NXT.
Exactly, Adrian Neville. He's gonna win the world.
You put him in the final.
he's gonna win the World Heavyweight title, and he's gonna be the best goddamn Geordie World Heavyweight champion you've ever seen.
We're gonna have Paige is gonna win the Davis title, and then Bad News Barrett's gonna win the Intercontinental in the US, and
England's
then just like,
taking over.
and then just Adrian Neville come in and just destroy John Cena.
Exactly. That's the hope anyway. But John Cena doesn't
You
let
get to
anyone
go.
go over. He doesn't let anyone go
No.
over, so that's not gonna happen. But yeah, so John comes like from the bottom and wins Cena. You know, this guy, I'm not joking, you could shoot him and he would still kick out. It's ridiculous. You know, Roman Reigns, Randy Orton and Kane. Roman Reigns has been shit hot recently, right? And I really would have thought, imagine this, Roman Reigns wins the main event, Roman Reigns then faces Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam for the titles. That would draw a lot of tickets, because Roman Reigns is shit hot. He's more hotter than Cena at the minute, I think. And then you've got two people who are absolute monsters in the ring, tearing it up at SummerSlam. That would be a great main event. That would sell tickets like you wouldn't believe. But no, John Cena is the face of the company. He sells tickets, so they're going with John Cena. Even though John Cena and Brock Lesnar, their match at Extreme Rules was just awful. The last one. Like the one before 2013 one, I think it was. That was just terrible.
Yeah, probably.
There was like one good spot when like Cena hit him with the chain, and that was it. But yeah, so do you want to talk about the main event much, or should we just say the fact that Cena won, and it wasn't really a special main event? I wasn't that into it.
I definitely wasn't sold on the main event. People have been. I was looking on the like forums and the Facebook pages and stuff like that, and people were saying that was one of the best matches of the night, and it was god awful. It wasn't even a match. All it was.
It was just spots.
It was
a finisher
spots.
It was spots and finisher match.
It was spots a finisher match, and just people, and for the first 12 minutes or something like that, it was just like, we're gonna have Randy Orton and Kane kick John Cena for a bit, and then we're gonna have Randy Orton kick Roman Reigns for a bit, and then Roman Reigns and John Cena are gonna come back, and then Randy Orton and Kane are gonna get their upper hand again and do the same thing for the next 10 minutes.
Do you know what I hate as well? How every pay-per-view now, someone's got to get speared through the barricade.
Oh, I know.
Like, that's the thing now. Like, if there isn't a barricade spot, like, WWE's like, we need barricade spots. This isn't 2K14, right? Stop doing barricade spots, you know? Just have a fucking wrestling match in the middle of the ring, not outside it. But, in my opinion, this was a god-awful pay-per-view, and I want to give it a 4 out of 10. Right.
Ooh, I was going to give it a 5 out of 10, but
it was crap. One of the matches didn't even happen, and the main event was lackluster at most. So, what is your rating for the show, Leigh?
I'd say it. There was possibly 2 good matches, if that.
Yeah.
So I'd give it a 5.
All right.
I think out of 10. Yeah.
So do you sort of agree with the flaws? Do you agree with the flaws that the matches were lackluster, and there was only like 1 or 2 good matches?
And there was probably some. Yeah, it was, and they were really botched as well. It's like they didn't rehearse any spots or anything. It was just all going to go out and just.
There was a lot of botches.
Everything.
And for me, the crowd weren't that good. Like when I was watching the matches.
No, the crowd are awful.
I really hope that like SummerSlam isn't
every like hotbed like that.
Isn't SummerSlam in LA again? I'm sure it is. I'm sure that's in LA, and the crowd in LA is normally okay.
Not sure. I think it,
But for the SummerSlam prediction, that's probably gonna that'll probably be one of the good prediction ones there, where we have more to talk about and more awfully more positive things. Because I don't like to shit completely on a product, but I really felt that WWE really sort of didn't perform for this pay-per-view. So should we call it there, Leigh? I think we've managed to call everything that we can. So I'd like to thank everyone for listening to our review / opinions on today's podcast. It's been WWE Battleground 2014. make sure to leave your comments in the comment section. Let us know if you agree with me and Leigh, you know, because we'd like to see some feedback and see if anyone actually enjoyed the main event. That might be a 1 in a million, needle in a haystack sort of thing. But yeah, guys, remember to leave a like and subscribe for some more podcasts in the future. And we'll see you next time on the King of the Ring podcast. See you later.